DIY Photography's coverage of PhotoPlus 2019 is sponsored by Luminar, an AI-powered photo editor. PhotoPlus, immerse yourself in the world of photo and video. Cozy Speed, the fastest camera bags in the world. And Spiffy Gear, lighting for storytellers.
Hey everyone, I'm a landscape and fashion photographer based in Toronto, Canada, and I'm going to show you quick little tips on how I retouch my portraits. So what I'm usually starting with is kind of like all the basics, temperature adjustments. I usually like my portraits a little bit cooler, so I'm going and adjusting a little bit for exposure, temperature, adding a little bit of contrast and a little bit of blacks just to kind of like lower it down a little bit to make it more saturated in a way. I'm usually not touching curves for now, but basically I'll do a little bit here, more like a standard S-curve kind of thing. I do like my shadows more appropriate, but I still like to lift the blacks a little bit. So kind of like I'm lowering, adding the intensity, but then adding the blacks back. So after that, I'm using AI accent that basically adds a lot of the structure to the image, adds a lot of contrast, adds a lot of exposure as well. So you can see like adding a lot basically transforms the image. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it at maybe 15 and show it before and after these two basic adjustments. That's before and that's after. Once again, that's before and that's after. You can see like colors are popping a little bit, but we're not done yet. So after that, I'm going for AI structure. It allows me to add a little bit of detail to the photo without actually adding halos or all the artifacts to the face. So I'm leaving it at probably 22, 23. I'm going to show you before and after, so that adds a little bit more contrast there. So after that, I'll head to the portrait tab and I'll go for a little bit of skin retouching. It's fully automated. I don't want to spend too much time doing frequency separation, so I'm going to go before at 100 and then dial it down to probably 33. So you'll see again before and after. So AI Skin Enhancer allows to smoothen skin quite a bit. So I'll go from 0 to 100. But at 100, I feel like it's a little bit too much for this kind of portrait. The model already has a bit of makeup on. So I'll leave it, go from 0 to about this. And the skin becomes smoother, but we still have all the details. We still have details and skin. You can see a bit of nose hair like on the outside and a little bit of this. But it becomes a lot smoother. So I'll turn it off and on. And you can see how subtle that is. So that's the look I'm going for. And now for the portrait enhancer, this is next to the last thing that I'm doing. I'm adding a little bit of face light to the photo. It's basically having like a personal assistant that does reflector for me. I was shooting that without assistant, so that helps me out. I'll do also the eye enhancer, and for that I'm gonna zoom in, and I don't want to do any masking, so I just kind of like select this and go all 100%, and it's gonna look good if I zoom in or zoom out. Either way, it's gonna give a lot of intensity. I'll show you once again. It adds a lot of like catchy eyes. Another thing I'm usually doing is dark circles. Unfortunately, we all have those. So kind of like to make the portrait a little bit brighter and a little bit better, I'll add that. And that's again before and after for this feature. And so I went from this to this. So now that I pretty much like it, I'll just add a little bit of teeth whitening. Her teeth are amazing, so they're already very well defined, but I'll just add a little bit more clarity to that. So after I'm done with this, I'm pretty happy. I'll show you before and after once again. And that's going to be before, and that's the after. You can see how catchy and how contrasted it became. And for the final touch, I'm going to go in the vignetting, and just to add a little bit of focus on the image. So I'll make it very heavy just in the beginning, and then I'll choose the subject so that I can click it closer, and maybe we'll reframe it once again just so that it kind of like highlights the face. And yeah, that's what I'm happy with. And I'll then dial it back so it's not as intensive, and you can see you can almost not even realize that there's vignetting going on. So it's so subtle but it gives you that a little bit of kind of like hint where you're, where you should be looking at. And so after I've done all of this, basically that's the quick retouching of a fashion or a city portrait, of going from before and after. And that's basically it. So after I'm done with this, I'm just saving that and I'm good to go. Hey guys, so I was showing you a quick demo with Luminar, how to edit a fashion portrait in about 5 minutes or less without any using masks or anything like that. And my name is Ev. Check out Skylum.com for an amazing product called Luminar 4.